So, headed to the practice to get for my surgery today. I've really been so busy on filming and trying to think through this morning, and because we've been doing this whole project on interviewing, and we've been on a marathon for the last week and a half. We've probably done 25 hours of filming?
Yeah, let's say that, 25, 30.
Those that don't know, meet Dan Murtaugh. We've worked together at the last 3 businesses for about 20 years now at different times. And Dan is on the video production side of things, our chief editor, and helps put together the good content you guys all love. So, he's gonna have to do today what we've had to do several times in the past, but it's probably going to be a little different today.
Yeah, I'd say a little different. Not looking forward to.
I know. I did buy him a nice dinner last night.
It doesn't pay for it.
And so, but thinking through what, the day of emotions, what are we going through? And even though I've been through, we're talking about the surgery, that's helpful and challenging all at the same time, because I know what's coming up. We've had to film this clinically, where you see nothing but the mouth and from beginning to end. So I know how the sausage is made, which, now that it's time for the grinder, makes me a little less than excited. I thought, okay, let's take some time and go through some pre-surgery tips for everybody. Make sure you're wearing comfortable, loose clothing. I remembered after I did it, but I'm gonna have to take off rings and watch and all jewelry. Contacts, you don't want to have any contacts in. You want to wear your glasses. Brought my own hoodie, so that if I get cold, got something to bundle up in. Let's see here. Do not eat 8 hours before your surgery, and do not drink 3 hours before. And I've never wanted something to drink more than I do now. Isn't that the way it works? When we can't have it, that's when we want it. Making sure that you have someone that, as far as your ride home, you're going to be pretty tore up. I've seen my mom and Cheryl, a lot of people after this surgery, and I'm not looking forward to that. But Dan is gracious enough to not only film but drive us home. So he's
You're in safe hands.
He's earning his money today for sure, and then some. But it's good to have, and Jen, my wife's going to meet us up there. I didn't want her to have to worry too much and have to see me too much immediately afterwards, because it is kind of gnarly. So appreciate Dan helping out with that. Today we are going to film the surgery. I think Dr. Ratana, who also works alongside Dr. Iskander, is going to help narrate, I believe, or moderate, and so kind of see what's going on. I know that the majority of you guys out there will not probably want to watch it, but there are those that do, And so for those that do, I mean, there's part of me that is kind of glad I've seen it, because, you know, so, you know, now just kind of getting to the emotion side of it. You know, like I said, been so busy, I really haven't wanted to think about it. Just wanted to get as much done beforehand. And so, in that process, this morning is one of those, times that woke up and just thought, okay, this is, you know, because you are, as much as my teeth, I mean, you're, and me, at least for me, I'm equal parts excited and equal parts anxious, sad in a way, because you've got the, you know, all my top teeth are now going to be pulled. They're gone. There ain't no turning back. This is fairly final on what is going to be happening for my dental challenges. So then, you know, you always, you know, I've been around this, even though this is what, you know, now that I'm going through it, really, the reality of those questions, will this solve it? Will I no longer have problems? I mean, God, we heard Sean and Jen and multiple people say, you know, they only regret they have is they didn't do it sooner.
It's like a new lease on life.
And I hope that it's just, God, you know, when you go through this process, you always have got that history of false promises and stuff that didn't work and all that kind of stuff. So I guess also questions for the anesthesia. You know, we talked about don't eat 8 hours ahead of time. Don't drink 3 hours ahead of time. Loose clothing, no jewelry, no contacts. But I really recommend, you know, if it's possible, get to where you're going if you are going to have IV sedation. And get there early and meet with and talk with the anesthesiologist and ask them, you know, any questions, concerns. I had ankle surgery multiple times, and one of those times I woke up and it was terrifying. So, you know, make sure you let and converse with your anesthesiologist, and hopefully they're dental specialists and not just Uncle Bob that works in the back of the dental lab that's doing it for you. So make sure their credentials are solid. We're using Lone Star, which is an they contract, Radiance contracts with them and pays them a fee. And Dr. Zia, I think, is going to be the anesthesiologist today, so I'm hoping to get some of the questions on camera for you guys on that. Yeah, equal parts scared, equal parts excited. Dental pain, don't like it. Is anybody that's gone through or is probably at that all-on-X stage, you've had a lot of antibiotics, you probably have had a lot of pain medicine, and you probably would prefer, if possible, to avoid both, and at least as much as you can, because you don't want to become antibiotic tolerant. What's that called? We're immune to the antibiotics. Okay, let's just go with that. We'll stop trying to sound too smart on that one. But, you know, you've gone through that, and you've had to go through and had in the past the antibiotics, and so not having to add extra of those in this process, and not having to do any pain medicine, none. I mean, no Tylenol or ibuprofen, much less any opioids. I'm going to be real curious to see. I've got a goal on this one to use as few of opioids for the pain management after this surgery as possible. Now I know pretty high probability that some will have to be used, but I mean, problem is in the past I had to go through so many surgeries, so much stuff, got a pretty high pain tolerance, so one didn't do it for me. It just doesn't even put a dent in it. So 2 or 3 a lot of the time, and you're having to do that. It's just not good for the system, not good for anything. So really hoping that this technology helps out with the healing, the swelling. I'll show you guys some of it, what I'm thinking on using it for the swelling and different things. But yeah, sorry it's such a unique rant this morning. I just figured I wanted to take time and really share some of the heart and where we are and what we're trying, where my mind and anxiety and challenges are right now. And so nervous, excited, all that kind of good stuff. Kind of excited to see how we can capture this. That's kind of one of the things that helps to keep me distracted in this whole process is filming this, is thinking through it from the director's standpoint of, okay, how are we going to tell this story in such a way that anybody that has to go through this down the road can really feel and understand as much as they can, while knowing you don't know everything till you go through it, but really have a significant leg up. So I'm thinking about that. So glad you guys are with us on the journey. And you know what, side note, for those that are people of faith, I am a believer, I'm a Christian, and I am going to take the opportunity to, in the operatory, pray. I want to pray over the doctors, and I know they're not Christian, right? And so that's okay. I want the best. But inviting God into that operatory room, asking Him to guide the surgeon's hands, asking Him to keep any infection or complications or any of that kind of stuff is a good thing to do. So don't be embarrassed by that, especially if you even know that they're not Christian. Asking the doctor, hey, can I pray over you before you start this surgery and before we get after this? I really want to recommend that for people that have a relationship with God, just because especially if you're going under and that kind of stuff, you'll just have an added peace. And I think it'll mean a lot to the surgeons, to the doctors, that you're willing to not just pray for yourself, but pray for them. So I want to encourage you on that. Yeah, well, here we go.